to mount the legs to the bed, and since our workbench is so close to the heights of the legs here, even with the riser blocks on, we're going to go through and do it this way because it'll be easiest. And I'll show you another way in just a moment here. Now, one of the things that I really like about the all-steel bed is just how precise it is here. It's not like a cast iron bed, but it's very precise. The hole locations are really great. So with the leg balanced on the end of the workbench here, and you can do this with a set of sawhorses as well, I'll just put my weight against it so it doesn't tip over. I'll gradually pull the bedway this way, bring it up on top. And again, these all-steel beds really line up very well. So I'm all set right there. I'm going to open up my hardware bag, grab my bolts, and these will take a lock washer first and then a flat washer. And they're going to thread right in, and they'll go in with a number 6 Allen wrench. I've got that one started. Let me get a few other ones going, and we'll bolt this thing down. Now that I've had these things finger tight, I'm going to go ahead and finish them up with the Allen wrench on this side. There's one. All right, so now we've got all 4 of our mounting bolts secured from the bed to the leg. Now what we're going to do is do the second leg, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this back and straddle the bench so that we've got the bed going off of the front and straddling the side here, and we'll bring the other leg around. Now I've got my leg assembly positioned, and I've got it firmly up against the workbench and held in place by my knees so it's not going to fall over. Remember that we're on the leveling pads right now, so they don't stand straight up by themselves. I'm going to lift this into the bed up here. I'll have my helper go through and push the lathe in. I'll lift this up. I've got my hardware ready to go, my number 6 Allen wrench. Let's go ahead and get it installed. Okay, get one hole at least lined up initially. That looks good. And I've got one of these firmly started. I can swivel this a little bit. And get my other one started here. Now just snug the bolts down. And one more to go. Now we've got the bed mounted to the legs here, and you can see that with our 3-inch riser blocks here, we've got a little bit of a gap right here, and we probably could have mounted that up also just in the standard configuration without the riser blocks. But now we've got it mounted up here. We're going to go through and scoot it forward and get ready to install the rest of the accessories here. Now I promised to show you a second way to install the legs. One way you can do it is get a piece of cardboard or some carpet and lay it on the floor. Put your bed upside down and then bring the legs in on top of them, set them upside down, run the bolts in, and then with it in this position, get a helper to tip it over and then stand it upright. That's another method to go through and mount it if you don't have a workbench or sawhorses that are sturdy enough to go through and mount it the way we just showed you. Now while it's upside down, let's have a look at the underside here, and you can see that this all steel bed is just absolutely fantastic. It is built like a bridge. You can see these girders or these gusset plates here that are about every 6 or 8 inches here, and you can see that they're full weldments here. One nice thing that I really like is that this bed is machined so nicely on top, but look at this. The detail on the bottom here, it's machined here where the lock pads are going to go for the headstock and the tailstock and the banjo. This thing is really well done. All right, make sure you get some help to do this part. Roll it down, set it down easy, come to the front and lift it up. Now we've shown you 2 different methods to mount the bed to the legs, and there are probably many others. It depends on how your shop is equipped, whether you have an overhead hoist or maybe some sort of lift that you can pick it up with. Make sure that you're safe in whichever method you choose. Don't lift anything up. Don't lift the complete weight by itself. Use the ground and leverage to help you out if you can. Now with the bed mounted to the legs, it's starting to look like a lathe. Let's go ahead and get our headstock and our tailstock mounted to the bed now.